Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Full Time Sports Network's Cop Talk. Sorry we wasn't about last week, but other commitments and all that. But yeah, we're back this week, man. Sure to have to make up for it, so we've definitely got a lot to say. Gonna say good evening, Mr. Stoney Browder, and how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. As he said, it feels like we haven't been on air for a little while, but we're back and just looking forward to this evening's show.
Nice one, man. Nice to have you as usual, bro. Hey, Dr. Blake. Scared of man, like you get caught up in the moment, bro.
Yeah, apologies, man. You know what, boys? These late kickoffs, it almost like throws you time. I was there thinking that it's like 10 to 10. And yeah, it's all the time. Apologies. Yeah, it's his game. No, normally
the man was late for a Liverpool podcast watching Man United, man. That's sacrilege, bro.
No, do you know, bro? It's weird, right? I think we've got a better chance of beating Man U if they win this game.
You know what? Save that because we are going to get into that talk. Definitely. Once we've spoken about tonight's game, we will obviously be doing our little preview on the upcoming against Man United and have a quick little mention about Atalanta as well. So save that thought, yeah? Hold that thought. Make a note if you need to, but just save that thought. We will get back. So first and foremost, 3-1 win today against Sheffield United. And once again, as we do, Liverpool don't make it easy. We don't make it easy. Gents, why was it so hard, man? What was it? Was it Sheffield United being really disciplined and defending well with a good game plan? Or should we, like how I would see other teams doing, be tearing into them?
Yeah, I think it was the latter, to tell the truth. I think I was quite underwhelmed with the way in which we actually played in the first half. Historically, Sheffield United have never really got results against us, home or away, but we just seem to be going through the motions. I know they set up. I think they played the 3-5-2. But even with their two wide players, which Trusty and Bogle, they weren't really at an advantage against us. It's like Gomez and Bradley kept those two wide players at bay. So it wasn't like we were being overrun in the midfield. I didn't feel like what was his name? Diaz and McAfee, they played up front, innit? I didn't think they were calling Van Dijk and Ibrahima too much problems offensively there. But we just seem to be plodding along. I don't know. It was quite a frustrating first half. Gravenberch, I know we've spoken about on previous shows about him probably still needing another season or two just to settle in. But yeah, I wasn't really too happy with his performance today. But yeah, lackluster. Definitely lackluster first half.
Okay. And Ross, take your eyes off the screen, man.
Oh.
I still on the screen, you know.
Yeah, apologies. I'm here. It's gone.
Right. So we're talking about was Sheffield United really set up really well, or were we poor?
We were poor, man. I think sometimes you just got to call out for what it is. Sheffield United, and no disrespect to their fans, they're not good in it. There's a reason they are in this current league position. And I just think sometimes I get it in it. It's the onus of being calm but controlled, but without wanting to be too frantic so that you then you just create issues for yourself. But we just struggled to get the right tempo of putting them under pressure whilst maintaining that control. I don't like that midfield three today. I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's any
one
player.
You know that's coming down to grabbing back then because he's the only change.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I think if you're going to have Mac 10 as the 6, for me, if Endo's not going to play, it needs to be Curtis. Because I think what Curtis gives you when he comes on the pitch today, innit? Control, work rate, dominance. Like he just controls and dominates that midfield area. whilst just keeping play moving. It's almost like he really is just matured so much into his play where it's like he just has this real cerebral understanding of what he needs to do in the midfield to make it tick. He just knows his game now. Yeah, if Matt 10's going to be the 6th, with the way there's concerns of Gravenberch's work rate and just him not really knowing his game yet, I wasn't happy with it. But then I just think sometimes as well, there's no surprise, I think, we turned up in the second half when we basically just went 4-4-2. Inverted thing, and Diaz rotating with Gravenberch, and Gravenberch rotating Diaz, Mo's holding wide, and all this sometimes, don't get me wrong, it's the good tactics, but just good old-fashioned, put their centre-backs under pressure. They're going to crack. These teams who aren't very good, stop playing in front of them. Like, that's easy for them. Like, they are bottom of the table or wherever they are in the league because teams go for them and they put them under pressure. Like, they make them work. We weren't doing that. It was just too easy. Like, make them work and then cracks appear.
100% agree, man. One of my problems that I have when I'm watching these games is like in the group that me and Doctor are in, and I see Tipper saying, "Oh, it looked like this could be a slapping tonight," and I said, "It's going to be closer than you think." And he's going, "Nah, but you lot, like you're having all the ball and blah." I said, "Yeah, but we're having all the ball and doing what?" And this is the issue that I have when I look at teams like Arsenal and Man City. If they're having that, and even Tottenham, they're having that kind of possession, goalkeepers are getting worked. There's chances there's a lot more clear-cut chances being created. We have that possession, and then you know what happens? It goes back, it goes sideways, it goes back. We do not pass the ball forward enough to cause other teams problems. This is a major issue that I have. All that possession, passing back, passing, yeah, that's all good. But what is it leading to at the end of the day? Unless your tactic is, you know what, we're keeping the ball to tire them out, and then we're gonna, last half we're gonna like start to strike or whatever. Then okay, but for me, with that possession, I need to be looking to go forward more, and I see
chances. Yeah,
I see a lot of people, especially Darwin, making those runs or going forward and not getting the ball. People turning and going sideways or going back. I see that hell of a lot, and that is not. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for me, and that could have cost us today. Gonna say, here's the controversial Mr. Motaz, but you know what? I am actually gonna say I actually agree with him today, and I must say there was a few different comments in groups that I was watching. That was when I was watching today. So he's saying, "I told you we need to sell Salah. Klopp was right to sub him. I'm tired of him and I want him to leave so bad." I'm not saying that, but for me, I thought Klopp was right to sub him today because he was lazy. There was no work rate. And then people were saying in other groups that he could have taken off Diaz. But Diaz offers more because he works. And I think that's exactly what Klopp looks at. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. Yeah, and that's the difference. Whereas Salah will just stroll about. And he did. Today, there was a time that really pissed me off today when someone, who was it who played the ball into him? And he just kind of strolled because he saw the player come in to make a challenge to win the ball back. And he just strolled and let the player win the ball. There was no fight, whereas Diaz would have gone in for that and probably got clattered and maybe won us a free kick or something. And that's the difference in the desire and the passion to play for the team. And that's why he got subbed, as far as I'm concerned. So it's 50-50, but how do you lot feel? Do you lot feel that was the right decision, or?
I think it was good. I think it was needed as well. I mean, considering that Sheffield United played the back three, it was almost as if our front three was up against their three. So it was almost like it was a 1-on-1, right? And at no stage did I feel Salah was getting the better out of the right-sided centre back. I think his name's Anal or one of those. I think that's his name's Anal. But at no stage did Salah appear that he was constantly getting the better of that player there. It seemed as if anything on that side of the pitch, on the right-hand side of the pitch, Bradley was getting more play over that side. So I don't know. Listen, I don't know. There could be a lot of factors. Is it to do with his fasting? I'm trying to pluck at straws here, by the way, right? Because I could be speaking absolutely fabrication here. Could it be to do with him fasting? But I know Kanate is also fasting as well.
Yeah.
So that, you see what I mean? That was
And
me
he
thinking.
played like a Trojan.
Yeah.
And I see him using strength and body and man off the ball. So what are you telling me?
But no, you know what? I think it was good to sub Salah. It obviously shows, well, I think it's a good reminder for him that we've actually got a squad. And if you're not performing, you will be removed. It can work in two ways. The substitution may galvanize him for the game that we've got over the weekend. But I think more importantly, it just shows that if you're not performing, then you'll be replaced.
Okay.
So I think it was good.
Motaz goes on to say he's always lazy. Salah doesn't do anything. I think that's a bit too much. In this game, yes, I definitely agree, but I wouldn't say always. Doctor, do you think there was a good decision today to take off Salah?
Absolutely. I just think the team's evolved, man. This isn't the first title winning team where essentially the whole, like when I say the whole team, like the defense and the midfield was set up to make the forwards play. Like now it's like we've got different ways of scoring. The emphasis is different. Like we've now got ball player midfielders who can be the fulcrum of the side and who can win the game. So it's like Salah's now a piece of a jigsaw as opposed to he is the key player who we have to play through. So simply, if he's struggling, then you put on Harvey, and Harvey had a much bigger impact on the team than what Salah was doing. And I just think for the role that we gave Harvey to do, he's just going to hold width, come in field, find passes, link play, cross it to the back post. We've basically gone 4-4-2, put Cody up front, drifting wide, so overloading on that left-hand side. Robbo's getting in. I just think it just made sense, man. I just think, like we're in a point now where no one persona is above their performance. Doesn't matter who you are. Chelsea scored
4-3 Chelsea.
You're joking.
I swear to God, bro. It's 4-3.
Bruv, like seriously. Actually, to be fair, after a defeat like this, then it might crush them still.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I have a hope.
It might actually crush them still. Jesus Christ.
Hat-trick for Cole Palmer.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. That Palmer, he wants all the smoke, man. He wants it. He wants to be great. He wants to be great.
He will be. I can see it.
I just think Mo, and if you look at it, Mo didn't even seem that upset when he came off.
No, he was. He was.
So they mentioned it as well.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. But you know what's interesting? I actually thought when Gakpo came on, listen, I was biting my knuckles because I just kept thinking to myself, the game that we need to get back in this game, I didn't think he was the player that should be on. But all three players that came on had an impact. Because
you know what people were saying that, Stoney, in the group, the messages started to go mad. Oh, he's bringing on Gakpo. What's he doing? Blah, blah. Everybody was getting mad.
Yeah. It was mad. So Robbo came on and Robbo ended up assisting to Gakpo, innit? So, I mean, there's a reason why Klopp's the legend and the great manager he is. And there's a reason why I'm not a football manager.
But I'll tell you one thing, though, for me as well, what I could see is if we had more players who played like Elliot, and at his pace, then you'd see their opposition goalkeepers getting worked more.
It's up here, isn't it, Elliot?
It's too slow, though. It's too slow for us.
Yeah.
It's too pedestrian. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. So you're too pedestrian. So people have got time to adjust, get back, and whatever. You know what I mean? They're sat in position. When people are sat in position, you have to move the ball quicker to catch them up and get them out. Do you understand? Because teams like that, they come into Anfield, they are going to sit back. You are going to have the majority of the ball, but they're going to have 10 and 11 men behind the ball. So you need to find a way to make sure, and it can't be pass here, turn, pass here. It's got to be bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, open them up.
Yeah,
and that's
because it was a weird one as well. Even with the game, I think at the end, and as you said, sometimes stats can be quite misleading, right? But this was a game we had 29 shots, 9 of them were on target, and 3 of them were, obviously had an impact. But that game did not seem like we had 29 shots.
No,
I'm
struggling to remember that.
Yeah,
You know
it's the same
they
thing.
might be classing as shots like what Darwin took that was blocked. Like they didn't even go nowhere.
Yeah.
There was one that he took when you could blatantly see the guy, the defender's right in front of you, bro. You're not gonna score, like pass the ball. And he just took this shot out just outside the box, and the geezer was like 5 yards from him, and it hit him. They're probably casting that as a shot.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. But I just didn't feel like we created enough. And I think back to Artie's point about Elliot, like Elliot's just got game intelligence, man. Like, and I think this is why I've always liked you, because I go back to his debut and I just think to myself, preseason friendly, he's 16, he's literally just taken his GCSE results, come on the pitch in America, and you're just playing 1 and 2 touch football. I'm saying, nah, come on. Most 16-year-olds are either being phased, they're nervous, they're trying too hard. My man comes on the pitch and just plays 1 and 2 touch ball. I was like, yeah, this kid's got it up there. He's got it. He's got it.
100%.
He's got it.
100%.
Got it. His ceiling will be capped at his physical development. How strong can he get? How much faster can he get? How much just a bit more explosive can he get? And I think that determines, I guess, the play he will become. But in terms of technical ability, game intelligence, he's like the guy's got it, man. He's got it. And when you check it, he's still 20 years old now?
21.
Not even 21 yet.
21.
So I got a question.
21 today.
Yeah, 20 was his birthday today. 21 today.
There you go.
Yeah, birthday today.
He's a kid, man. He's a youth.
So I've got a question, right? Based on the play that, and I don't have an answer to this, by the way, right? So I'm just throwing it out there. Based on around Harvey Elliott, him obviously being able to play in a series of positions now. He plays the right side of midfield for us, or he plays the right forward position, but also the return of Curtis Jones. And, we were saying that if he had played in the number 6 today, then possibly we would have had more strength and unity in the midfield. Why do you think it is that Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott then still haven't managed to have a look in the England first team, but Mainu has? I know they have different attributes. It was presented to me in a conversation. It was presented to me. Okay, Stoney, you love your team. You're always talking about your players, XYZ. Curtis Jones broke through from your 18s, under 21s, your academy. He's had a series of seasons to make the transition in the first team. Same thing with Harvey Elliott. So how comes Mainu's burst on the scene now, and Mainu's got the call up behind him? All I said is that I'm not Gareth Southgate, but it's very interesting, that conversation that materialized.
So for me personally, I don't think Harvey Elliott should be playing for England, just on the basis that, as good as I think he is, I just think if I'm looking at either a right midfielder, right winger, or a number 10, I just think you've got Saka, you've got Bowen, you've got Cole Palmer. I think all 3 of them have got a stronger shout than him. As much as I rate Harvey, I just think you look at someone like Cole Palmer, who's burst on the scene, and what has he got? I don't know, 20 goals now? He's got 20 Premier League goals. Yeah, his
got mad
stats are nuts. His stats are nuts. Yeah. So for me, Curtis Jones has got the biggest shout. But what I would say that with the Curtis Jones thing is, for the last squad, he was injured. And as much as I don't rate Southgate, I've got no reason to think that there's any bias towards Liverpool or Liverpool players. And yeah, I guess I would take that comment a lot more seriously if Curtis was fit for the last squad and he didn't get picked. So I guess I'd like to believe that he would have got picked. And I think, yeah, he's there on merit. Don't get me wrong. If it comes to summer, he takes Jordan Henderson and he leaves Curtis Jones at home, then the only good thing that can happen after that is that he's appointed Man U manager, and then it's all good. But yeah, Curtis deserves to be there. We saw it again today. Comes up and he's just class. Curtis is just class. He's class, man. Like he's in the zone now as a footballer. Like he knows his game, knows what he's doing, and yeah, like just let him fly now, man. We've got some real competition in the field now.
Big shouts goes out, Mr. Herbert. Nice of you to join us, sir. And yes, we do know that Chelsea just beat Man United 4-3. I'm telling you, oh, what a game that was. I tell you.
Damn.
Injury time goals, 2 injury time goals for Chelsea, a penalty, and then a deflected goal of McTominay for Cole Palmer. I tell you, great result. I think that's a great result in my eyes, anyway.
Yeah, I think the nature of that result.
Going back to Elliott and Curtis Jones, I think the reason why Curtis Jones wasn't involved before is because there was too many injuries with him before. Not even just like this last squad. I'm talking about over the period of the last few years. He's never really sustained a place in the Liverpool team. I think this is the only season where he's been like, when he's had a prolonged really run and stayed in the team properly, and people are really starting to see what he's about. You know what I mean? So I think like now he could be pushing to say, yeah, well, look, this is what I can do, blah, 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 for me. Elliott, I think, yeah, like you said, it's come a bit too soon. I think the competition's a bit too high for him at the moment, with what he's got to battle with. And the players who he's got to battle with have been doing it a bit longer than him, as far as I'm concerned. And they are still performing at this current moment in time, which you can't knock. So that's fine for me. He's with the under-21s. He's doing very well with them at the moment. Yeah. So you know what? He's still young. Let him keep growing, man. You know what I mean? Nothing better than that. Because it's worse. For me, you go to the under-21s, you're playing 90 minutes. You come up to the senior squad, you might get 5 minutes here, and then in the next game, you might sit on the bench and not even play. What have you really learned? Apart from watching them guys and play with them guys in training. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah. So for me, right now, I think he's on a good learning curve at the moment. So yeah, I'll take that all day long as far as I'm concerned. And as you know already, our players love getting flipping injured on international duty as it is. So.
Yeah. I know.
You hear me? Long may it continue, mate. Gareth Southgate, you keep doing you, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. B. Yeah, I'm telling you. Mr. B is not going to be happy. I'm telling you. Yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah, I might have to give him a shout after the show, man.
I think I'm going to do the same thing.
You know what I mean? So, gentlemen, what I am going to ask you is, okay, so his name was mentioned earlier. His performance and his rating out of 10. And I have to mention him. Gravenberch. Okay. Oh gosh.
No, it's fine. I would give him. I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a 6, and as you said, I'm not going to move away from what I've mentioned on previous shows. And for anybody who's tuning in for the first time, my stance is he's still a young player. I think he still needs a full season training with us, and I think because we've got more midfielders, he's still got enough time to try and adapt. And then we'll see where it takes him and his progress in the next 2 seasons. So another, as he said, another underwhelming performance from him. As he said, I'm going to give him that match rating. And then we'll see where it takes from there. But I think the only thing that I was a little bit disheartened by about this specific player is, as you said, we were aware that Sheffield United were going to play with a low block. We know that they were going to play with the 5. They usually play with the 5 there anyway, not just Liverpool, but any other teams. But I just thought this would be an opportunity for him just to be galvanized and just to try and put a stamp or a marker in a midfield position. But as you said, for me, I just don't think he was able to do that today. So I'm giving that low rating for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor.
So for me, I would almost see it as like when a player starts the game, he's on a 6. And then depending on how well you play, you either then go like above that rating and you get high ratings, or you then go below it. What I would say with Gravenberch is, I think 2 things. One, it was his first start, right, since the League Cup final, I believe. So I'll give him a bit of slack for that. And I think 2, I think you almost need to play him with quite defensive players because I think he has to make up the shortfall for his lack of intensity off the ball, and he just doesn't seem to have grasped that yet. And although Szoboszlai is very good and Max very good, I'm thinking maybe he looks a bit better with a more of a natural 6. But again, that's me kind of trying to make some excuses for him or find reasons as to why he's playing the way he's playing. I agree with Stoney. I think we have to judge him after he's had the full pre-season. But if I'm honest, I just think the kid's got talent, but my concern for Gravenberch could be 3 things. One, I just don't think he's improved. When I watch him play now, I just see the play that he was at Ajax when he came through at 18. I just don't see he's really gone to that next level. And look, and I accept that kind of each player's development will have different kind of tiers and they will move at a different pace. But I just think it feels like it's up there with him. And I think this is where Klopp would have been particularly good, because Klopp's going to really drill into his psychology because he's got all the talent in the world. So for me, it's more of a mental thing. And I just think that a new manager coming in, I just don't think they're going to accept his lack of application, man. Like, I just don't think that they're going to accept it. Like the missing the 50-50 tackles, the lack of committing to the press, the lack of defensive acumen at times. I just think, like you were Klopp and Pep's project, and the new manager's going to be like, can you do what I want you to do? And it's going to be a massive pre-season for him, because if he doesn't sharpen up mentally, he's got problems. Like, he won't see many minutes, man. So
I agree, but I'm still jury out, because I still believe that there's a player in there, 100%. There's a talented youngster in there for me. It's just about getting that talent out and getting it be able to express itself. I also feel it's been a bit of not having that consistent time in the team to be able to produce. That's been a killer. Today, I think it's very harsh, because I was quite surprised that he actually started today, to be fair, knowing that he just come back from injury. So you just come back from injury as well. So you're not going to be the sharpest tool in the box, to be fair. So, I was a bit surprised. But I still believe that I still think, you know what? He might be one of them players that, like Szoboszlai has come in and hit the ground running. He hasn't. So I want to reserve my judgment until, like, if I can see him next season. The only difference is, though, it's going to be hard again, because you know what? We're going to have a new manager who might want to do something different, and he's going to have to try and start learning something different. So that might be a bit of an upset. But I still feel that there's players that sometimes they just come in and you know what, they just, bam, that's it, I've got it. I mean, There's other players who it takes time. And if you're not getting the minutes, it's going to take you even longer for you to grasp it, because you're not getting the consistent minutes. And we've talked about this time and time again with certain players, and then they get a run in the team, and then you start to see it and you're like, this guy's actually got it for real. And I think that's going to be a problem, because you check it now, he probably won't start. And he won't start the weekend.
No.
You understand?
No, he won't.
And I just don't think you can start him. Yeah. I don't think you can. See, just quickly on that one, and I do accept that, all that you've said, right? But if I had to think about a Szoboszlai, who I think we would all accept that since he's come back into the team, he's not at his previous level. Like, he's just not as sharp. You can see it. Like, if you watch him and Mac's game's flowing, and Szoboszlai almost like he's trying hard. But with Szoboszlai, his work rate is first class. Like, covering, tracking, closing down passing lanes, his intensity. Like, even if his on the ball quality isn't there, off the ball, you cannot fault the guy. Work rate's always there. It's Gravenberch, for me, just needs to work harder, man. Needs to work harder.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I won't disagree with that at all.
And I think, like, whatever's stopping him from really committing to that part of his game, and you know, it's like, you know, you got some players who they've always been that much better than everyone else. Like I look at Gravenberch's height and I probably think to myself, you've probably been 6'2" since you was about 12, 13, or just but like, you know, these younger players, you've got everything over someone else. You're the biggest, the most athletic, the most technical. Like you've literally got every single advantage you've got over all of your competitors. So I just think sometimes like the game becomes a bit easier. But you look at someone like Harvey, he knows he's small, so he knows he's got to be aggressive.
Yeah,
he's got that.
To work harder.
He's got to. Whereas it's like Gravenberch sometimes plays like he's still like the best player in the world, and it's just like bruv, man, I caught you up, bro. Like,
I hear that.
Sorry, Stoney. Sorry, bro. Go on.
No, it's okay, because I was just going to kind of extend on what you were saying and what Artie was saying as well, and just thinking of probably the next 6 fixtures we've got coming up, and I was trying to think what game time is he going to be able to have. So we got United on Sunday, haven't we? Yeah, and then
United, and then Atlanta.
Cool. So the only games that I can possibly see him getting some game time in, if we manage to get a real successful result against Atalanta at home, then I know we got the second leg on the 18th, right? So after Atalanta, we've got Palace at home. He may get some game time against Palace, whether that's coming on as a sub. If we do get a good result against Atalanta, he may get some game time away on a return leg. And then we've got Fulham, and then we've got Everton. So even in all of those games, it's probably the Atalanta return game and the Crystal Palace game. Those are the only, and I'm not saying Crystal Palace is going to be a brush over. I mean, in terms of him actually being part of the match day squad.
Yeah.
Those are the only games that I can possibly see him getting any game time in. Those two. That may be enough for him. I have no idea.
But, I can imagine he probably wants to start more than that. And I think, look, there's every chance that he can be starting in the Europa League games. But I just think to myself, the vast majority of fans, not everyone, but if the game's tied and we've got Harvey and we've got Gravenberch on the bench and we know Klopp's going to choose a midfielder, most fans are saying Harvey Elliott. There's no way you should be picking the 5'6" dude over the 6'2" dude to go and play in midfield. But we know that
his fight and his intensity. He's got the job. You know what I mean? He's got the little slip in his back pocket. He's got the job. I know this is what's needed. This is what I'm bringing to the table.
And I think, and this is it. We know that whatever Harvey's got inside of him, he's going to leave it on the pitch.
Oh yeah,
whatever he's got,
and some.
Yeah,
and some.
Like you know what you're going to get. He's going to give you everything, plus add quality. There's Gravenberch's quality. You see the ability, but do you see the quality sometimes? And we then got the questions about like his work rate as well. So I just think to myself, there's no way Harvey Elliott should be ahead of you in midfield. No way.
He really peed me off today, man. When there was a 50-50 and he pulled out.
Yeah, he shirked it.
Oh man, listen, I was just like, you know what? Take him off now. You know what I mean? And I'm not lying. I like it because I know that there's a player in there. It's just about getting it out, and you'll see a quality player. But when he did that, for me, that like you're talking about, that's my heart right there, bro. You know what I mean? You gotta go in blood and guts, full thunder, man. Man pulled out of the 50-50, bruv.
Yeah, dangerous.
Have to, bro.
Did he play similar when he was up?
Is that psychological though? You know what? Because he just come back after injury.
No,
to say that.
Yeah, it could be. You know what? Sometimes it is. It's psychological, and you know,
he's been shirking tackles all season, man.
Over that. But what you need to get over that though is you need to get clarted, and then you get clarted, and you get up and you carry on, and you're like, all right, you know what? I'm over it now.
He's been shirking tackles all season, man. He's been shirking tackles all season. Like
I think for me, what I'm going to need to do in terms of my own research is go back to see how he was playing at Bayern Munich and see how he was playing at Ajax. So for me, even though I know that he's aged and he would have gained more experience, at least then I've got an idea of what he was playing like and the possible potential that he can add to Liverpool. So that's going to be my own little research to go back.
You go and watch him at Ajax. He's basically the same player he is right now.
Oh, okay.
Like, and this is what I'm saying about the development hasn't come. Because okay, cool.
When he was sorry, Doctor, when he was playing at Ajax, how were they playing him?
So they would play midfield 3, and he would rotate between either having the most attacking role or more time. He would then spend a lot of his minutes basically being as like the number 8. Sometimes he played 6, but in general, he kind of played holding, but had more license to move forward a bit and carry the ball. And yeah, like he's got. Look, I think if you compare all of his defensive metrics per 90, so not on top of he's played less minutes than other midfielders, he's going to be way lower. Like I've watched him play like 60, 70 minutes and he's won 1 tackle. You're like, bro, you're 6'2", bruv. Like, it's like, come on. It's like, no. And I get it. Not all players have got that kind of dog in them. But maybe in a more technical, controlled style of play, he might be a bit more effective. Whereas our game's a bit more energetic, a bit more emotional. It's a bit more on edge. But you watch the 2 control managers, Pep and like Pulis Arteta. Like Arteta's got Kai Havertz fighting. Kai Havertz is now pushing man in the back. Martinelli's fighting. Bernardo Silva's the dirtiest little snake on the pitch that you'll see. This guy will try and give you a choke slam. So this is the point. We've moved past the era now where talented players can shirt their kind of defensive roles in the team. We've moved past that because it doesn't matter how good you are. Everyone's on it now. So if you can't maintain that, you're struggling for most managers. Most managers.
100%. There's that. It's like there's no more luxury players. You're right. Can't afford to be. No, 100%. 100%. I fully agree.
Because because luxury, because the techers man now are kicking man down.
Okay.
Like you run past Odegaard, he's kicking you down.
Oh, he's not having
He's
a
kicking you
ball.
down, bro.
All right, so that was Gravenberch. Darwin Núñez, gentlemen. Today's performance. So Stoney.
I think his performance was how it's been the majority of the season. I think he definitely does not lack any energy. He definitely does not lack any commitment. I think it's probably a credit to him that he remained in the position that he did and was able to capitalize on the goalkeeper's misfortunes there, really. I suppose near the end, he was probably quite unlucky with the header as well. Should his stats be higher? Yes. Is he a work in progress? Yes. Am I happy that he's playing for Liverpool in his current form? Yes, as well. So I think he had an all right performance today. I was happy. As he said, he probably could have left the game with a hat trick, but coming away with 1, I suppose I'll be happy with that.
And you give him out of 10?
I give him a 8.
Actually, no. All right, Dr. Blake.
So I was really happy that he's got that goal, and I think for players who work hard and have got that real energy like to their game, I think when you score those types of goals, it's almost like a reward for all the effort that you put in for this season. I would still rather him be scoring more what I'd call like clinical striker goals, like the kind of goals that you would typically expect of a striker to score. I'd rather that. But his performance today, I don't know, I found it a bit frustrating at times. I think he was one that almost got caught between us being a bit too lethargic with the ball and not being quite dynamic enough at times as well. I don't know. I just felt that there was moments where he was taking a bit too long on the ball. And I just think I don't want Darwin on the ball taking time. I want you running, being quick, kicking the ball. But I don't want you to suddenly feel like you're like Del Piero.
Curtis Jones. No.
Yeah. Similar hairstyles. Yeah, but no. Like I want you getting it, giving it, moving.
Gents, He did it again today, man. Come on. Seriously, and this is peeing me off.
Their goal,
One
yeah,
thing
it
you
was him.
mentioned, Doctor, right, was yes, taking way too long on the ball and doing sweet FA with it. And then he did it again today. Had the ball going down on the left. Diaz was there. Just give the ball to Diaz and get yourself in the freaking box, innit? That's what you need to do. Give the ball to Diaz, get yourself in the box. Holding up the ball, loses the ball. They go up the other end and score. Similar to what happened against Man United.
Yeah.
He gives the ball away too much.
Yeah, and it's when he takes too long on it. It's just like, because when his game's a bit quicker, I find he actually protects the ball quite well. When he's just doing the classical number 9 hold up play, get it, hold it, move it, go out. Like, I think that part of his game is really tightened up. It's when you're right. It's like when he gets the ball now and he's wanting to weigh up his options. Shall I go left? Shall I go right? Shall I kick that? It's just like, bruv, the first thought that comes into your head, just do it. It's like, keep it simple. You see Diaz thinking, shall I pass now? Just give it. Just give it. Because we don't need you to be the orchestrator in the unit. We just need you just to just keep it simple and be explosive.
Yeah.
Like,
get yourself in the box and cause havoc.
Yeah.
That's what I need you to do. Let me worry about Diaz getting the ball in there. That's what I need. Yeah? Listen, this guy is so frustrating.
He isn't it?
So
100.
frustrating. I'm telling you.
It is. But you know what? And as you said, it goes back to what we've mentioned on a lot of shows. That's part of the development, though, isn't it? And I think for me, the only rationale I can have sometimes with myself is I think, what was he like when he arrived? And what is he like now? And does he have more attributes where he's progressed? Me personally, the answer is yes. He's so far from the finished article, and both of you guys have articulated the areas that he does need to improve on. But as you said, hopefully that will come in time. But yeah, you're right in terms of that. Even his shot accuracy and stuff like that. 7 shots today and a return of 1. And that return of 1, as he said, was really that deflection of the goalkeeper. So
what I'm trying to say is, though, it's not even that, but has he not learned, or has Klopp not pointed certain things out to him? Like I'm saying, like what happened with the Man United game and things like that have happened with him before, of just losing the ball. Has that not been pointed out? Because it's like I'm saying, listen to us, to me, in how many games in now? 30 games in, and you're still doing it.
So I think for me, what I would say is, I did see a sustained improvement in his overall game for quite a while. The issues that you're talking about in terms of what I've seen, I've only really seen this creeping into his game in recent weeks. If I'm being honest, I thought his overall game's been quite good for a period of time. If I'm being real, that it does feel for me in recent weeks, I've seen more of this. Like I don't know if he's like trying to play a bit more ball, and it's just like, nah, bro, your role just cause havoc. Like, I want these centre backs to know they've been in the game. Be physical. Yes, show a bit of class when you've got the ball in, and like, we need to play off you. By all means, hold it, move it. And he showed a bit of class in his actual back to go hold up play. But it's like, I think what we're getting frustrated about is almost like when he's got the ball under control and you've got options, and he's just overcomplicating it. And it's just like, rude boy.
Yep.
It's like not everyone can be the man, innit? It's like, look, Kelly Rowland could sing. She just couldn't sing like Beyonce. Hence why she just got like the odd little high note here and there, innit? It's just like, just play your role, man. Play your role, bruv. Like, bloody Jermaine Jackson had a bad boy voice. He was going to be lead singer. Michael comes up. Nah, rude boy, you're like you're in the back. It's just how it goes. It's how it goes. Yeah. Everyone has a role to play, and everyone's role is equally important. Just like, rude boy, you're not Mac 10. You're Nunes. Just be Nunes. And that's good enough for us.
No, 100%, 100%. And you know what? I will have to agree with what you were saying as well, Ross. Hold my hands up. There was a period where he was playing very well, causing problems and whatever, and getting those goals. But it seems to be, I don't know if that's gone to his head and it's creeped in now to his performances, and this is why he's playing like that now.
Do you know what it is?
And, you know, it doesn't matter what he does. The crowd is still chanting his name.
Bruv, it's a goal against Brentford when he did that mad little dink and all that. It's like he's himself since then. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, he ain't done it since, though. Yeah, he ain't done it since, though. Yeah. I bet we don't see that again this season.
Yeah, but
I guarantee you don't see that finish again this season, mate. I tell you.
No.
But
yeah,
I'm going to ask a serious question though, right? Before we move on from Nunes, yeah. And I just want a quick answer, lads, on this one. Seriously, can you see Nunes being that striker that we need when we're playing Champions League football against those elite teams?
And as you said, that's an interest. I don't even think that's a yes or no. The only thing with that is because we've got all of the different forwards and they rotate, then he's always going to be part of that. So even if we think his starting position today was centrally, but in the second half when we made the changes, he moved over towards the left. His goal stats, I don't know. I know what you mean. We need somebody that's clinical. But if you look at last season, so if we're only just looking at stats, he's already scored more goals this season than he did last season. But I go back to, and I agree with what you're saying, RT. There's certain strikers you'll think, you know what, we need a gunman.
But hold on,
because there's going to be certain situations.
But that could be down to because we got a better midfield than what we had last season.
True, that's true.
Absolutely do. Yeah, we do still. True.
It's just true.
Nah, I do think
for me, that's not just down to him. That's the midfield that we've got.
Yeah. True.
So do you know what? I think he is good enough to give any defense in the world problems. And like, no one wants to play against him. Nobody. And it might just be that in recent games, because I know obviously he's been carrying a small little injury, right? I'm not quite sure what the injury's been. But yeah, I just think, look, once he goes back to terrorizing centre backs, I think he'll terrorize anybody. I think he's got that ability, and I just think even if he's not going to be dead-eye clinical all the time, I just think other parts of his game are typically of quite a high level where he will always contribute to the team winning games, if that makes sense. So I just think he has to get one more season.
24. He still ain't even hit anywhere near his prime.
Yeah.
So but I know what your original question was. Like in those games, those clutch games, is he going to be the guy to get us the goals?
You get one chance. Are you going to be that guy?
That's the word, Stoney. Clutch. And there was a article circulating. It might have been back end of last week, or might have been early this week. One of those websites, Squawker, or one of like, I don't want to say swastika because it's not that, but it's one of them kind of websites.
I bloody hope not, mate.
Squawker or something like that. I can't pronounce it. They were basically had this stat, and basically he was seen as like the best overall striker in the league in terms of expected goals, expected assists, and numerous stats, and his stats are overall quite high. And I think that is the case. And my thing to any Liverpool fan is he needs to now become clutch. And I think this is where it needs to get to. Like, I don't mind you missing 5 if you already hit the 1. Like in those big moments, can you just be clutch? Because we had some real clutch players, man. Like Mane, clutch.
Come on.
It's like Jota's clutch
all day.
Like Diaz can be clutch in terms of his performances, and I think we're going to get some clutch moments from Diaz this season. I mean, like in the last 2 games. So I just think right now he wants it, man. Like he just, like he wants the pressure. He wants it. But yeah, Nunes, I don't know if he ever will be clutch in it. I just don't know. I don't know.
hard.
I don't know. I do
I'm
want him
telling
to
you,
be
that's
though.
that, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm starting to look and really analyze, and I'm like, will he ever be that guy? Because when I'm talking about when you're playing the elites, you sometimes get that one moment.
Mm.
And can you take that one moment? One thing I will say is I know he'll cause them issues and cause them problems, but you yourself, can you take that moment and that one chance and put it away?
And I think going back to the point that was raised earlier, I know it was a bit controversial. That Moltaz mentioned about selling Mo. I would be a lot more open to selling Mo if I was satisfied that Nunes had evolved and can now be clinical. Because I just think, unfortunately, you still need Mo because you know that even if he's going to miss chances like he did in our previous game, it's just like, Salah, geez, like come on, brother. It's just like, I know that like you're fasting, rude boy, but like, bro, but you know that even though that he's missed how many, he's gonna like he will get one. Like you just know it. Like like his mentality is that it doesn't matter that he's missed. So yeah, that's Nunes' legacy. Like not legacy, but that's what he needs to do. He needs to basically like define his own legacy now. Like come up in big moments, score those goals, and yeah, like it's all in front of you, man.
Okay, that's Darwin. Okay, next, quickly, lads, we're going to talk about quickly having. You did mention this player already earlier on, having Curtis back and Robbo. Performances today. How does that bode well for us?
I think with the running the games, I think it means that our squad is strengthened. In terms of Robbo, Gomez's performances this season have been so elite in any position that he's actually played. It means that I think Robbo has even more time to make the transition back into the Liverpool team. So if Gomez wasn't playing the level he was, then we would have been looking at Tsimikas there, yeah, and we would have been worried. But I think with Gomez playing so well, it means that there's no actual rush for Gomez to get. I mean, for Robbo to come back in. What he did add today was more of an offensive position over on the left hand side than Gomez usually would. So I was happy that Robbo's having some game time. I didn't think after the international break, I think he had a knock with Scotland. I didn't even think he was going to be playing.
Same here.
For a little while.
Here. That was the report actually that he was out injured. Everyone was talking about it. Yeah, we'd lost Robbo again.
Yeah, so I was completely shocked. But as I said, you know, what's helped us is there's no real rush for him to come back. But as I said, I'm happy he's there. And we was mentioning the running the games. We got Everton, we got Fulham, to Atalanta, Man United, and Crystal Palace coming up. So I'm sure Robbo will feature in some of those games. And I'd say the same thing with Curtis Jones as well. With Endo getting the knock, we don't know how serious it is or what period of time that is out. It may be that Curtis Jones has an opportunity to play the number 6 against Man United if we feel that we need Mac 10 to play in more an advanced role. So both of them coming back into the squad, I'm really happy with, and I know that they're going to contribute to us having some success.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, Robbo, I think with Robbo is two things. I think he's probably been below his own very high standards for probably about 18 months or so. And I think he just played too much football. And I think like the rest he got to this season, well not rest, but obviously like with that injury would hopefully see him in good stead. What I would say with Robbo though, I do think there is a tactical question that Klopp needs to work out in his own head. If we're going to have Trent inverting so much and Trent's going to play regularly, us using Robbo as that third centre back who kind of sometimes comes into midfield, that just doesn't play to his strengths. I just think we saw it today. You let this guy just be a attacking, overlapping fullback, and he's still top drawer at that. Top drawer at that. Like that's where he made his name for us. He's not what we would call a creative ball playing kind of fullback. Obviously, he's still got great quality and like really good crossing and that. But I just think let this guy be a flying fullback, and I think like we'll get some really elite performances. So I think it just comes down to tactics and Klopp giving him a role that is complementary to his skill set. Curtis, look, I've said all season, I think Jones is great. I think at one point in time, I probably would have had him as our most important midfielder behind Szoboszlai in the early part of the season. I think he's just been really unlucky with injuries. But for me, I see Jones as a starter. So for me, Jones, Endo, Matt Ten, Szoboszlai, if any three of them can start at any point in time, and I'm super happy. Obviously, we know Jones specializes in giving us that level of control, and I think he'll be key for the Man United game simply because he's the one who just has this confidence, and the way he just controls the game whilst manipulating the ball. I think that's what you need when you go to Old Trafford. Stop the stupid turnovers, pin them back, and just make them see hell. Don't make it into a basketball game. We just don't need to. Just pin them back, let Jones get control, move it, like hold on to the ball a little bit when he needs to. And I just think Curtis has been a huge miss for us. But I just think that like the rest of the team have just stepped up, and Mac 10 up. If we are going to talk about it, I'm not quite sure. But when he scored that goal today, just to say like I live on quite a quiet, sheepish kind of road. And when he scored that goal, but I let out all kind of Jamaican cuss words, boy. All kind of Jamaican cuss words.
I thought you heard me, bro. I'm telling you. I thought you heard me.
Well, listen, boy. Anyone that's seen it in my window, boy, would have thought I had an AK-47 in my hand, boy.
I'm telling you, mad. Stevie Gerrard-esque, I must say.
Bro,
so I'll take it. If I ask for your man of the match,
bro, I think man of the match has to be Matt 10. Is it man of the match? Is it player of the season?
Do you see how much times he got back and robbed them of the ball as well?
Man of the match, player of the season, son of the season, best midfielder in the league. Like you told me, I think any accolade can be fitting because this guy's got the lot.
He is.
And he could have ended up with a brace. Remember, his free kick clipped the crossbar. Remember?
Yes. Quality free kick, mate.
Yeah,
quality. I'm telling you. Now, I was loving that big performance from him today, man. 100% massive performance.
Just gonna say, just for Matt 10 quickly, the goal, Salah's goal against who did we play on the weekend? I forgot.
Brighton.
You know when you're watching it wasn't even it was the Szoboszlai bit as well. I'm just like, this is our midfield now.
Yeah.
The way he fizzes that ball into Mac 10, instant control, instant pass. And I said to myself, no, you man are moving different now. This is like Xavi Alonso and Steven Gerrard moments now, because I'm used to seeing this in Liverpool midfield normal.
And I ain't gonna lie, if that doesn't fall to Salah, I want it to fall to Jota because I know what's gonna happen.
Burying.
The neck's gonna ripple as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Any one of them two.
Quality's nuts at the moment. The quality is crazy because Dom fizzes that in. Like only certain man can hit that pass that Dom hit. Trent's one. I think most players can't hit the ball with that level of accuracy and precision like that. And the way he's hit that ball and then the way Mac 10 is just, boy, I don't know why I'm talking about Michael Jackson so much right now, but he put Michael Jackson flipping loafers, boy, and he just caressed it.
It's a big boy strike, man. Big, but that's what I'm saying. Look at what we needed to get the job done.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. That's what we needed to get the job done.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be that. You're right. You're right with that one. Still,
no, definitely not. Definitely not. So,
but it's like we don't like easy games, though. I just don't think we like easy games. It has to be rock and roll.
Yeah, I know, but that's not good for my heart, man.
No, for real, boy.
It's not good for my heart, bro. Because what my plan was, what I said to someone earlier, was, yeah, you know what? Hopefully, we can go a good few goals up in the first half and then take them boys off. Because we've got Man United coming up, Atalanta coming up. You know, give them boys a rest. Fuck, you know what I mean? We're struggling this, like, you know what I mean? Hard work. Listen, Mac 10's had a hard game today, bro.
Yeah.
He's putting a shift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what it is though. But it's weird. But it's like these guys thrive off jeopardy and chaos and pressure. It's like they thrive off it. And I think this is where I think what we've got over the other teams in a sense of City and Arsenal all about control. Hence that absolute ball fest we saw on Sunday. Like just very quickly, because if any Arsenal fans are watching this or Man City fans,
it was dead.
I'm sorry.
It was dead.
When was the last time you saw a considered a top of the table clash and there was 8 centre backs on the pitch?
Oh, no.
8 centre backs on the pitch. Like what the hell? 8 centre backs. I'm saying to myself, hold on a minute. Is this Arteta versus Pep, or is this Pulis versus Allardyce?
Allardyce. Yeah.
8 centre backs on the pitch, bro. I said, yeah, do you know what? I know as a Liverpool fan, I'm not seeing that in it.
No, it was such a boring game. It was unbelievable.
Jeez.
Disappointed.
I guess the point I was gonna say was I just think if there's gonna be a moment when things are going wrong, we've been dominant, we've then conceded a sloppy goal in the 85th minute. We know our team are gonna fire back because we're used to just thriving in the abyss. Like, I just think that's just what we do. And these guys are gonna turn up, because I think with City and Arsenal, I don't know, man. I think if they're under pressure and they're pushed into a corner, I'm not sure how they always respond well. I'm just not sure. They might, but yeah. We want it, man.
We've overcome this hurdle now, and looking forward, we have Man United this Sunday, which is another big game. So one of the points I wanted to make is that I think we really need to play the team and not the occasion, and I think that's what happens certain times. You know what I mean? Just play the team, not the occasion. So at one point, it was Man United came back 3-2, full of beans, and I'm thinking this is going to give them some belief now. Ross is thinking this might make them a bit cocky, and you know what I mean, we could get in there. And then Chelsea come back and beat them 4-3 and actually crushes them. How do we see this one going, gentlemen?
Go on.
You see, like what you were saying, RT, about us obviously not playing occasion, but actually playing the game itself. I hope, and I'm confident that's going to be the mindset from our coaching staff, tactically from Klopp, and the way that all of our players approach the game. I'm confident that we're going to have over Manchester United is we've still got the ability to do what Chelsea would have done to them today. And that is the ability to actually continue playing at a high tempo right into the latter stages of games, but also scoring late in games. With Man United, I think that it's going to be a crushing blow to them, the way in which they actually lost the game today, because, as you said, we bring the game. If it goes late, regardless of what the score is, we're capable of actually getting a result. We don't usually get lots of change at Man United. I mean, in terms of results when we go to Old Trafford, but I said this is football and anything can happen as well. We would have been aware that today they had Varane injured. They brought on Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans had to come off being injured. So I think they brought on one of their young centre-backs who had to come on from 65 minutes as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what their backline actually looks like going into the weekend. Dalot had an extremely rocky game today. And I think Ten Hag's main thing is that he wanted to rest Rashford. So Rashford is 100% ready for Sunday. We'll see. We'll see how that materializes. I think the danger man, for me, Rashford's always going to be up for the game, but I think the danger man is going to be Garnacho. This is just my personal opinion. I think it's going to be Garnacho, and it's going to be interesting to see how Mainu plays against us, not the other way around. It's going to be interesting to see how Mainu plays against us, because he's had a good season so far, and we've hearing a lot of Man United supporters waxing lyrical about this young man. I wish him all the best. I don't wish any injuries, but I just want him to have an absolute nightmare when he plays against us on Sunday.
Well said.
Yeah, you know what? Not only that, but even Anthony found a little bit of form today to Bucks side. So they're two wide players did them justice today, mate. I'm telling you. So yeah. But Doctor.
Yeah, I just think I echo the point you made, man. We just got to play the game. For some bizarre reason that we always get caught up with Man United. We always find it hard to settle, always find it hard to show our quality. But I just think, look, these guys must be smartened by how we lost that cup game at Old Trafford. They have to be smartened about that. They have to be smart by the fact that we had 30 shots against them at Anfield, didn't really create any great chances. And I'm just like, okay, cool. You know what you have to do, boys. Hopefully Endo's fit, because I really like Endo and Matt 10 right now in the midfield. But equally, if Jones has to play, then I just think it's interesting. I'm not going to point somewhat. If Endo's out, so we've got Matt 10, Szoboszlai, and Curtis. Who do you play 6? Do you go Matt 10 or do you play Curtis?
It's hard because you know what? Matt 10 for me would be more disciplined, and he's the better 6 for me. But then I'm going to lose a lot of what his qualities going forward. And that's the problem. I definitely, and this 100%, I prefer him as a 6 over Jones all day. Prefer him, even like I said, today, he wasn't playing as a 6, but what he was doing today was like he was like a 6. When I saw how he was getting back, I was just like, this guy. But
I think
going forward.
It's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky one. What I would say is Jones is defensively extremely diligent. So even if Matt 10 is the 6, we know Curtis isn't going to go too far from him and is going to stay close proximity. So we're going to stop the counters, and we're not going to. And I guess the two of them will have a bit of control. But you just think because of how well Matt's playing, you want him to be close to goal. But
yes, yeah.
I
want him to be that guy, the dictator, man, to run the game. I want to boss the game. But I'm not going to lie, though, like Stoney did mention, we need to get hold of Maino. It's not a joke. This is something.
He's good. I remember, you guys probably don't remember, in the last game we actually played against Man United, obviously, there's no way I wanted us to win. But I was having a conversation with Mr. B and also with my son about how McTominay always plays against us. And he had a very, 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 very good game against us the last time we played McTominay. So going back to like what you guys were saying about who could possibly play the number 6 out of the 3 players you mentioned, I think I'd probably put Curtis Jones there as a number 6. And that way, as he said, he can probably track those deep line runs as well from McTominay. Because I know what he was doing. McTominay was making those late runs, and him and Bruno Fernandes were making those inverted runs late. So, I just think it's going to be a brilliant game. I'm looking forward to it.
Good points, Tony. Still,
I'm confident we're going to get the win. But as I said, it's going to be Mainu and McTominay and Garnacho.
Yeah, I fully agree. Mate. Seriously, fully agree. Very, very interesting, man. And I'm looking at these young talents, man, and I ain't gonna lie, just slightly straying off the topic right now. And I'm looking at Cole Palmer, Mainu, Phil Foden. Looking at some of these young boys, and I'm telling you, right now, they're going to be bosses, mate. I'm not going to lie. They're going to be bosses. I don't care what anybody says to me. I'll put money on it.
It does look nice.
Them three for me, they are going to be bosses, mate.
Yeah, it does look nice.
And to be fair, though, like, when you really break it down, once England did that work, like the English FA and obviously the Premier League, in terms of really taking youth development seriously, like really committing to a technical style of coaching and player development, there was no reason to think that England wouldn't be doing this, because you think to yourself, okay, cool. Why would Spain or Portugal have better ball players than us? There's no reason to think it, especially when you think about the ethnic diversity of England now. And that's what I guess Brazil's always had, because essentially Brazil just had a huge amount of African talent. It's basically like an African country. Yeah. And yes, obviously, like you do get European players or players of European heritage who break through and who are great, Zico's, Kakas and that, but the Ronaldinhos, the Neymars, the Pelés, the R9s, Romarios, they're basically Africans, isn't it? So you look at England, you just think about the actual diaspora from the Caribbean, Africa, other nations. No reason why these guys shouldn't be flying, man.
100%.
No reason at all.
100%, man. 100%. There's loads of them coming through, man. Loads of them coming through.
As he said, you all forgot about Jude Bellingham, Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players, man.
There's a lot of them, mate. There's a lot of them. I'm telling you. Even, you know what? Even Gibbs White.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Yeah, listen. There is a hell of a lot of young ballers. It's exciting to look forward and think, yeah, what's coming through, man? It's exciting.
And I was watching the other day, I was watching Leeds, and that Archie Gray in midfield, wow.
I've heard a lot about this, you know.
He's basically Declan Rice, but with a bit more ability, if you ask me. Like, I think he takes Rice's spot in a couple of years. That guy he can ball. Yeah, I'm just saying, the sooner they give Southgate the Manchester United job, England's going to be on smoke, because there's some mad talent coming through.
Well, listen, let's hopefully on Sunday, let's help him to get that job.
Yeah, you know that.
By tucking them in. Let's help him to get that job, man. Definitely. So
we just got to exploit spaces.
Predicting scores.
3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I'm going with 3-1 as well.
All right. Does Salah start?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I say does Salah start, do you think that's what Klopp's gonna do, or is that what you would do?
Both.
Okay. Doctor?
Because and the reason why I'm saying that, Artie, I think if we do not start Salah, then we're starting Harvey Elliott. And then I think what that then does from the off is giving confidence to Manchester United. That's why I'm saying that. So yeah, Salah starts, and he'll be galvanized. He'll be alarmingly upset that when he did come off the pitch today, that's when we got our impetus and we ended up getting a victory. So that's gonna spur him on.
Okay, Doctor still didn't answer all now, you know.
Yeah, I might be going to Harvey, you know. But I'll be real. Simply because I just think we don't need to make it into a basketball match to beat Manchester United. It doesn't need to be this up and down game and back to front. We don't need to do that. We just need to just put our foot on the ball, get into our passing networks, and just carve through them. They're not very good. Like Brentford hitting 30 shots against them, and
that was a madness.
This is like
the woodwork 4 times.
Yeah,
like they're utter garbage, in my opinion. And I say that because, as bad as they are, I still think they've got very good individual players. But I just think, as an overall team, that's not very good. So, obviously, look, if Salah's looking sharp and training, he has to play. But I just think Harvey comes from the right, Darmy's making runs in, Diaz holds wise coming in. I've then got Mac 10 and Sabozlai, or Jones and Sabozlai, if Mac behind them. Hopefully Endo's fit, but assuming he's not, I just think we can just pin them back and just strangle the life out of the game and just pass it around them and let Darwin cause havoc against Maguire and let Sabozlai break past their midfield because they lack athleticism. As great as Kobe is, he's very good positionally, but he's not what I call the most athletic player. So just get them turned, man, between Casemiro, Kobe, Big Scott. Get them defending, moving spaces and pinning them back. And I just think, yeah, just take their heads off, man. So yeah, if Mo's looking sharp, obviously Mo should play, but I don't know. I just think since he's come back, I haven't quite seen it, which is weird because I just think when he came back early and he had that game against Brentford, like it looked like Maradona against Brentford in that game. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Whereas he's come back and he hasn't quite been as sharp. So obviously Mo will start, but I just think on form, I don't know, man. I think Harvey deserves his moment.
I like that. And then, gentlemen, then we've got to look forward to quarterfinal, Europa League, Atalanta, this time next week. How do we see that one going, considering they lost 1-0 to Fiorentina?
Yeah, you're right. But Lookman's out there still scoring goals though.
Yeah, he's doing bits. He's doing bits.
Yeah, they're doing that. Look, I think any team that's got to this latter stage in any of the European Cups deserve to be there. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I'm glad that the first leg's at Anfield. So I'm confident that we're going to get a victory. If we can do the same thing that we did at Sparta Prague, then that'll be good.
Doctor?
Yeah, I haven't really been following them as much this season. Obviously, Lookman's a quality player. I think he's somebody I think we should have looked at potentially as for a squad role, not to be a starter, but I think he's good, man. He arguably ended Nico Williams's Liverpool career because that season when we had like the centre back issues, and there was a game against, I think he would have been at Fulham at the time. Fulham, I think it was. Was he at Fulham? Was it Fulham? And
I don't know.
I think it was Fulham. He was at Lookman and Nico Williams, boy. Like Nico wanted the ground to eat him up. He wanted it to eat him up, boy. It was skinny. It was brutal. It was. I was just like, Lord have mercy on this young man. So, lo and behold, he's gone. I was just like, yeah, you had to go. So, but yeah, back to the game. We should win, like with our quality. Hopefully, Endo's fit for the weekend, so we should be able to rotate in the midfield as well, and just get the job done, man. Trent's back soon, right?
Yeah. Trent should be back soon. I think another reason why it's going to be quite good. I like looking stylistically how different teams set up. So we're going up against another team that play three at the back, so they play that 3-4-2-1 or the 3-4-1-2. So it's gonna be interesting how we match up against that as well. So I just like the matchups really. And I completely forgot, is it Klasinic that used to play for Arsenal, the centre back? He plays for them, doesn't he? Atalanta.
Yeah, that's right.
That's correct.
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Yeah. He's their main centre back of the three. So but look, either way, I think it's gonna be a good game.
That's the one that had the fight with the guy who tried to rob Ozil, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Came from their hands.
Yeah.
Right into my man still.
Yeah. No, of course. That's big. Yeah.
My man came from in hands. He was like, he was this is it when I have to realize, bro. Just because they're footballers, you don't know what their history's been, boy.
Exactly.
Because he wanted all of the smoke. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
But that alone, I'm getting him a contract in it.
Yeah. He be my squad all day, every day, bro.
Yeah. That's that minute somewhere.
Yeah. Kind of man I want in my team. Okay, peoples, we are definitely going to say thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure once again. Do remember, it's all about next week. We will be here after we've played Man United, hopefully battered them, and then Atalanta. So we will be here next week, Thursday, 10 o'clock. Do remember, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's all about like, share, and subscribe. It's all about cop talk. Stoney, my brother, thank you very much again. It's been a blast.
No, thank you. It's good to be back. So thank you very much, man.
Okay, Dr. Blake, my bro.
Top of the league, penthouse. That's where we shall stay.
Penthouse living.
All day, man. All day.